Just 11 days to go in the league phase. It is very much the business end now in the group stage of the IPL 2017. It's time to preview match number 41 here on ESPNcricinfo Matchday T20. It sounds like a lot of cricket that we've had and spoken about. It's going to be with two men who turned 41 a few years back. That's Sanjay Bangar and Brad Hogg, just a few years back, not more than that. Thank God they're not on picture, now they are. But good to have you gentlemen, we'll get your thoughts in a second. Let's open match day, match point number 1. It's Pune against Kolkata. Kolkata, of course, having lost to Hyderabad, they want to pick themselves up. It's very much a top 4 clash. And Pune, on the other hand, buoyed by the Ben Stokes result against Gujarat. Now, they're back at Kolkata where Nathan Coulter-Nile has been on a roll. So we start by talking about the Australian quick. Not necessarily a first choice pace selection if you looked at that squad. But if we look at the numbers, gents, with bowlers at the best strike rate, minimum of 10 wickets in this year's tournament, he's right up there. Ahead of Andrew Tye, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who we've spoken so much about, Imran Tahir, who's been so good for Pune on the other hand. 8.29 the economy and a strike rate of 10, so he gets you a lot of wickets, especially at the Eden Gardens. Let's get Brad Hogg's thoughts first. The use of Coulter-Nile at the Eden Gardens important. What about him and the Kolkata ground do you think makes a good combination? Off you go.
I think it's a great combination. The only thing that you'd like there, and you'd like to be greedy there, is just to bring that economy rate down, but you can't have everything. The thing that Coulter-Nile's changed is when he first came on the scene, he liked to bowl a lot of short deliveries. He very rarely pitched it up. Now, he's pitching it up, trying to get some swing, trying to get that outside edge when he's got the new ball in the power play. And obviously when you do that, batsmen are going to get some boundaries, playing some straight drives and some cut shots. The other thing is when it's the old ball, he's starting to get it to reverse. And also he's mixing his pace up now a lot better than what he did a year or two ago. He's starting to bowl some slower balls where he rolls those fingers over the seam and really bamboozling batsmen in those middle period overs.
Perfect. 45 seconds and Brad Hogg nails it. Let's get Sanjay Bangar's thoughts. The use of Coulter-Nile. He seems to have done most damage swinging that new ball, keeping it fairly simple. Has he set a template for how fast bowlers should go about it, especially at grounds like Eden Gardens? Your thoughts?
Fresh wicket, bounce and see movement on offer on a KKR on a wicket in Calcutta, which is not really seen that much. So credit to Saurav for that to make that sort of a wicket there. But apart from that, KKR strategy ever since Andre Russell played for them was to have some bowler who will be aggressive, who will bowl the short ball, and Andre Russell did that really well. And they were looking at a bowler, and here's the credit to the team management that they picked certain bowlers with a definite plan in mind, and that's where Coulter-Nile has fit the bill really well. He's using the short ball, attacking the batsman, hitting the lengths really well, and taking wickets, which is what the captain requires.
Oh, what a start by both of you, just like Nathan Coulter-Nile. Two perfections, Sanjay Bangar and Brad Hogg, within their 45 seconds. Nathan Coulter-Nile, big weapon that Gambhir needs to use against Pune, which the batting of which is now seeming to get some form. Let's move to match day, match point number 2. And while Coulter-Nile certainly has got the right numbers in this tournament, Chris Woakes unfortunately hasn't. And he's been a regular for KKR since the start of the tournament, bought for good money at the auction. Let's have a look at Chris Woakes' number. We're talking about his power play woes. And if we look at the worst economy in the power play, gents, with a minimum of 8 overs, so bowlers who bowled at least a significant amount, he's right up there with an economy of 11. Now, I'm a bit surprised to see Ashish Nehra there, 10.55. Praveen Kumar has not had a great tournament. Basil Thampi's been very good with the older ball, new ball, sometimes he goes for runs. Shardul Thakur in otherwise what looks like a weak Indian seam lineup in the Pune bowling. But Sanjay, your thoughts on Chris Woakes, the economy not complementing necessarily, not being the weapon that they want? Would you be tempted to look at other options? What have you made of Woakes' failure?
Chris Woakes, again a swing bowler, plays a lot of cricket in England, and hence he always looks to pitch the ball up, looking to get some movement in the air, and he gets the ball to go away from the right-handers. And most of the batters in IPL cricket at the top of the order are right-handers. So for outswing, it's very difficult for an outswing bowler to contain. The major containment is done by bowlers who bring the ball back into the right-handers, and hence whatever his natural variation gives a lot of width to the right-handers, and that's where his economy is slightly above what is ideally required by the team management.
Okay, let's just look at his numbers beyond the power play too. And if you look at bowlers with the worst economy in the entire tournament, Chris Woakes features on that list too, which is not something he'd like to see. He's second, and this is bizarre lists that we're throwing up. First, Ashish Nehra features in a bad list for power play bowling. Now Lasith Malinga features in the worst economy rates of the entire year. We've taken minimum 20 overs, which is why you don't have the likes of Ishant Sharma or Ashok Dinda on that list. But just those thoughts, Hoggy, looking at those numbers, can Vokes be told to bowl outside the power play? Is he making this Kolkata lineup as strong as it can be, or should Gambhir look elsewhere? 45 seconds to you.
Look, I think they're utilising the best they can. They're a little bit strung in those power plays because they don't want to use Narayan as much. They don't want to use Kuldeep in those power plays because they're their strength in getting wickets in the middle overs with Kulton Nile. And Umesh Yadav as well, they want to make sure they've got a couple of overs out the end with him. But with Vokes, the thing that I find is that yes, he likes to swing the ball up and try and get the outside edge of the opening batsman. But when he's trying to be defensive and aggressive, he's short and into the body. And sometimes he overcompensates, goes down leg, and then next time he overcompensates and he's too wide. So he's just inconsistent when he's trying to bowl tight.
Well done.
I was going to say a bit more, but the hooter went in.
Okay, that's fine. But you got all that we needed from you. So Gautam Gambhir has a few questions he needs to answer of one of his seam bowling options. Let's move to matchday match point number 3, and the seamers for Pune, on the other hand, seem to have picked themselves up. Jaydev Unadkat, Shardul Thakur. It's not necessarily bowlers that you thought would lead an IPL team's attack, but they found their place. Of course, Ben Stokes has helped. Imran Tahir's been good, but let's look at numbers which tell you how Pune's bowling has actually improved as the tournament's gone on. First 4 games, average of 38, economy of almost 9.5. Last 6 games, 37 wickets, 23 at an average, 24 almost, and an economy of 7.5. Sanjay, let's get your thoughts and try and figure that out. Tahir's been steady throughout the tournament. Unadkat and Shardul seem to have found a place for themselves after a lot of trying and testing with Dinda and Deepak Chahar. What do you think is the reason for this improved bowling effort from Pune as you analyze them through the tournament?
The improved bowling effort is also corresponding in how they stand in the points table. Now they've picked 61 wickets so far, and that is the 4th highest by the teams. The highest being 64 taken by Sunrisers. So it clearly corresponds with what is happening when, as far as wicket taking is concerned. They've got their bowling combination right. Jaydev Unadkat has done a fabulous job for them, which actually surprised me as well. And apart from that, they've used Lockie Ferguson whenever the opportunity has arisen for them. Tahir is doing a phenomenal job. Shardul Thakur and Deepak Chahar is a toss-up between both of them. So if anybody of them does it really well, Christian is backing them pretty well. So all in all, they're just getting their act together.
Okay, we have some time to spare. Let's go to Brad Hogg. Boom, there goes Sanjay Bangar's hooter, but now it's time for Brad Hogg. It's that Kolkata wicket again. And there are some teams, Hoggy, which don't have the big names in bowling, and we've criticized them. Somehow Pune, players have just risen and maybe punched above their weight. How do you analyze this Pune effort? It seems to be against the trend of IPL success, but slowly a job is being done. What are your thoughts?
I think it just comes to consistency. You saw the first few games, they were trying different bowlers, and then all of a sudden they just said, right, this is going to be our main combination for the rest of the tournament. We're going to stick with these guys. And Unadkat and Thakur, they know their roles up front. They do a pretty good role out the moment, and they bowl in the death overs. They know what they've got to do. And they know they're going to be backed up by Christian and Stokes, who bowl around in the power play and also the death overs, enabling them to have their main strike weapon in that middle over where he's going to be most volatile, and that's Tahir. But also Sundar, the way he's bowled in that power play, they've utilised him for 2 or 3 overs as well, which allows them to utilise their pace and medium pace in the death as well, and back up Tahir in the middle.
Just maybe a quick point on that. Washington Sundar quietly has changed the responsibility or the workload in that power play, have quietly affected things in a significant way.
He has done that. He has done that. He's bowled smartly. I mean, for a player of his experience, really just starting to play competitive cricket, he's been pretty good. He knows his limitations. He doesn't really, try and give a ball a lot of air. He's tall, and that actually at times could be a bit of a hindrance for somebody to toss the ball up. But he's mixed it up pretty well. And what also is working in the bowlers for Pune team is that the wickets are slowing up. And the bowlers that the Pune team has, not really pacey, but they're crafty. They're using a lot of cross seam, they're using a lot of slower balls, and that's where their bowling has started to look a lot effective.
And on top of that, Sundar bowling in that power play, he gets 2 or 3 overs out, and that allows those bowlers of Unadkat, Thakur, Blokes, Christian, who aren't pacey, but really effective in those middle and death overs when the wickets are older, the balls are older, and the balls are able to hold up in the wicket. So their team at the moment is complement each other and complementary of each other. That's why they're having so much success, because they know their roles now.
Oh, well, it's coming at a very good time for Steve Smith and for the Pune side. Let's move to match day, match point number 4 now, and we must speak of the run-up to the playoffs. The race to the playoffs for Pune has begun. They very much sit in the top 4. Net run rate is something they'd like to improve on, but with 6 wins now, they're doing a lot better than a lot of people expected. Remember, second from bottom last year. If we look at the teams that they still have to play, and I wonder how much IPL sides look at their schedule, especially at this point, to see where are my tough games, where can I definitely not afford to lose or slip up. They've got Kolkata, the game that we're focusing on. Then they've got Hyderabad. So 2 teams that currently sit in the top 3, both away from home. Then Delhi, you might just have a Delhi team that's out of the tournament by then. Will that make a difference? And then they end at the MCA Stadium at home against Punjab. It could very well be a toss-up that between Pune and Punjab, a straight knockout. Sanjay, you've been with an IPL team. Is it this time where you start looking at your schedule and fixtures and start identifying certain games being more important than others? How would you look at that runoff? Is it an easy finish for Pune, or is it tricky?
And for the teams which are below you, you definitely know that their motivation is dropping. And for a team like RCB, for a team like who do not really have a chance to make it to the playoff, you know that half of their minds are basically on the plane back home. So it's easier to play for the teams which are below you, but the added advantage for the teams above you is the playoff spot, wherein they want to finish at the top, but they are bound to slip. They're bound to slip because no team can go through a tournament of like winning all the games. And that's where some of the teams might tire, some complacency might creep in teams like KKR and MI, and that could work in favor of a team like RPS, who is resurgent.
Okay, would you be tempted to keep your goals small and say top 4 finish? Let's not get ahead of ourselves for top 2, in which case a Kolkata or a Hyderabad result might be a bonus, and let's focus on beating Delhi and Punjab because that will be enough. Would that be an approach that you take, Hoggy? 45 seconds.
No, definitely not. I wouldn't be taking the easy option. I'd be trying to go out there and win every game I possibly could. And the thing is, if you get in the top 4 and you beat those Kolkata and Sunrisers who are above you, well, it starts putting pressure on those 2 teams because they start to worry if they play you in the finals. And if you beat them now, this time of the tournament, they'll start to panic because they're not certain to be going through the finals at the moment either. And you want to try and cause them to have a few headaches where they think, right, is this our right combination? You want to put them on the back foot and try and get them to make changes. And the good thing about Gujarat, they won a Pune, they won a close game the other night. Stokes is in form, and their main players, Tripathi, Tawari, Smith, who haven't been getting the runs, they did it without them.
And the game against Kings 11 will be a massive game because Kings 11 also are in with a chance because they still have 5 games left, and they are in a chance because they can get to that 14 or the 16 number, the points mark, and it could potentially be a quarter-final for a team like RPS and Kings 11 when they face off each other.
I wonder who you will be backing. But yes, we'll come to it. There's a reason Sanjay was keen to make that point. But at such a big game, it almost seems to fit perfectly in the schedule that the 2 teams that are vying for what could be the only spot in the playoffs come up against each other towards the last weekend of the IPL. Now, let's move to final match day, match point. Important for teams to get their combination consistently going for them. Kolkata and Pune would be looking to play a balanced 11, a regular 11, and of course both teams don't want injuries. Let's look at our first set of 11s that have been picked. We're looking at Kolkata's 11 by Sanjay Bangar. Now that's the big question. Chris Wokes persists with him in spite of a few bad games. Sanjay, he can bat, which Trent Bolt doesn't really. So would you be tempted to play the left arm seamer? No other changes otherwise. So Sheldon Jackson still being preferred ahead of Surya Kumar Yadav. Sanjay, your thoughts to take me through that team, 45 seconds.
I have not really changed quite a bit, but the last time KKR played RPS, they opted for 3 spinners, and that's where they got in Piyush Chawla to play against them. I gave it a lot of thought whether they would still go and play the third spinner. But since the game is in Eden Gardens, I've opted out of it. Chris Woakes, we already seen that he has been expensive. Whether they want to plug in that hole by giving Trent Bolt some games and to keep him, match fit. It's always good to be having a bowler who is bowling well in the nets, but when he goes out there, whether he'll be able to be ready and play and deliver in key matches is something that the KKR management will have to think. So give a chance to Trent Bolt and rest Chris Woakes for a while.
Okay, well, that's the news from Sanjay Bangar. That's who he would pick for Kolkata. Who would Brad Hogg pick for Pune now? And what they'd be hoping is Ben Stokes isn't sore. He didn't look good towards the end of that 100. But assuming that he is, of course, fit and fine, he definitely takes the field. No place for Lockie Ferguson, even though the Eden Gardens wicket, like Sanjay said earlier, Hoggy tends to help the seamers a lot more than it used to. But otherwise, provided everyone's fit, you clearly don't want to change anything. Off you go in 45.
I'd like to bring Lockie Ferguson in just for this particular game, but I don't want to muck up a winning combination. I think this is the combination that they'll go into the finals if they get there. They're starting to get good team morale. They're starting to be high on confidence, and they don't want to be changing their team a little bit too much, because that just might interrupt rhythm of certain bowlers. I just think they've got a balanced team now. They're doing well. Ben Stokes is on fire. Hopefully he can do it another couple of times for them, because he's their big paid player, and they need something big from him. Another couple of games yet.
Plenty of time to spare, so I will go to Brad Hogg to ask him for a prediction, because you're not going to be with us for the live game. We've got a few days off, Hoggy. So who are you going for, Pune or Kolkata at the Eden Gardens?
It's very hard to go against Kolkata on their home ground. So I think Kolkata, but I think it's going to be close. And Pune will want to win this. They won't want to play that last game against Kings 11, vying for a place in the 4. All
right, Sanjay, I will not ask you yet because you will be with us for the live show. But thank you very much, gentlemen, for your thoughts. You can catch Sanjay Bangar on our live show 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time on ESPNcricinfo.com, as well as our Facebook ESPNcricinfo page. Catch all our content on Facebook, including our mid-innings live chat with our panel for your questions and comments. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube as well, where you'll find all the chit chat around the IPL. It's an important 11 days coming up. We hope to have your company for the same.